Live and in color. Bill Kyper and Bourne. It's our Leaf Edition hour. Jen Rolnick in for Jake the Snake today. Derek Brandeo, as always, and Jaja Gabor. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Wherever you're watching and listening, Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto. We're streaming always on Sportsnet. We are here for you. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Just for the next hour, lie on a couch somewhere and just listen.
You think we're going to help anyone today?
The doctor is in.
Oh.
The Toronto Maple Leafs woke up this morning 8 points out of a playoff spot.
That is so many.
After dropping a loss to the Buffalo Sabres last night in a game that many talked about must win.
Are we many? We're many in this game.
We probably were in that group. I mean, you guys had a bit of an early start last night because you went on air. You did your Leaf talk.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure a lot of thoughts came out that were very much reactionary to the loss.
Mm-hmm.
You've had time to sleep on it.
Yep.
And then come back on our show and feel the same.
I got to tell you, I don't even think about that game last night. Like, to me, all my thoughts since that game ended are what now? Like, that game was just another piece of confirmation that this team does not have the horses. They're not talented enough. The season is not happening in terms of the playoffs. And you and I had both said in things we had written, you have to win to keep up because there's so many teams in the hunt. Someone's going to be winning. The second you trip and fall, you're left in the dust. They got left in the dust. They're 8 points back, buddy.
So he's more practical, but I know you're more emotional. So
I'm just reading our YouTube chat here, and somebody just said, I'm just here to see Sam McKee suffer. So
to my point, you're much more emotional. So if we were to look at, okay, the homestand's over, right?
Yeah.
But if you
got
were
a point.
Oh, okay.
First time since
Detroit.
1985 that the Leafs have lost all 5 games of a 5-game homestand.
Wow.
40 years.
So Vegas, Colorado, and Buffalo were the last 3 here.
Uh-huh.
Which one disappointed you the most?
That's a hard question to answer. I think just the overarching feel after all 3 games is probably what disappoints me the most. I think it's hard not to say Friday night against the Knights and just how that went and how that was just sort of a starting point for some real concern. But now when we're sitting here, I can't help but think that everybody in that room last night knew how important of a game it was. You talk about having Daryl Sittler's grandkids in there reading the lineup cards and getting everybody fired up, and the team talks to Sittler and all this stuff. You think that that's a game where they know it's must win, all these things that they would come out and they'd be like, all right, it's their last stand. And they just don't have it. Like, we talked about this a little bit last night, but they're just simply not good enough, boys. They maybe want to have it. They maybe want to look good, but they're just not good. Well, it's not good.
No. Well, let's turn this to you.
But they're better than that.
Are they?
Yes, they are. Come on. Let's go back to the beginning of the season. I didn't have them winning the division. You did.
Did I have winning in division?
Well, somebody did here.
I just said they're going to win the cup. That's all.
Well, whatever the case is, nobody had them out of the playoffs.
No.
Okay? And I know you sit there and you compare Buffalo's defense to what the Leafs defense has, and we know they're more talented, but we didn't sit here a few months ago and talk about the blue line like we will today.
No,
they were good enough.
Yeah.
We've made it abundantly clear, and I know you have. This defense was good enough to make the playoffs and make some noise. No, they don't have that 1A guy, but by committee, by the amount of shutdown that we've seen them over the past year and a half, 2 years collectively, it was supposed to be good enough.
Hey,
Don't
listen.
tell me that they're losing because they're just out talented.
Well, no, I think you're totally fair. I think heading into this season, when you looked at a decor that was Morgan Riley and Chris Tanev. Chris Tanev, their best shutdown guy, played the most minutes right side guy. Morgan Riley, apparently best summer. Easy to see them as fine. You know, you do McCabe and Carlo. So Tanev's out. Carlo doesn't play a big portion of the year. Riley's disappointing. And then Ekman Larson, Benoit. It's easy to look at that group and go, yeah, it's pretty decent. They can keep their head above water while the forwards, where they're really good, can run with things. And yes, injuries have played a part in it. It took a while to get things going out of the gate, so they fell behind in points, and it all has worked to this cosmic gumbo of terrible.
But scoring, it was never a thought. I brought it up a couple times. You're like, they're top 5, top 7. They're fine
I
there.
said they'd score, and they score.
And you were right. They could score.
Can't defend a lick.
Can I interject here and say that maybe getting the best goaltending in the league last year might have had something to do with that? With them looking better defensively and papering over some of these concerns that we had? Like Stolarz and Wall last year, boys, Stolarz specifically, was unbelievable.
Top 5 save percentage in the league and top 5 shooting percentage in the league last year. Both things which are a little tough to keep up.
I just think that, I saw Mike Kelly put out a tweet today about just all their sort of fancy stats this year, and it's a lot of 32s across the board.
We weren't dumb.
There were some signs last year, too.
We weren't dumb. We saw it. We knew how many games they stole.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like even last year, we'd be coming here and talk about what would this record look like if they didn't have Stolarz. Like that was a conversation we had every day. It pissed me off.
And
because
stat conversation was possession. They never had the puck. It's like, yeah, the other team had the puck for 2 more minutes in their end, but they won again.
Yeah.
We knew it was a little fishy, but geesh, it has.
But I think the biggest, watching that game last night, Rasmus Dahlin is just out of this world good. Like that is a number 1 defenseman in his absolute prime. And we've had the conversation all week about the Leafs wanting to have a guy like that, or how there's all these teams in the league. Like they just don't have the ability to run a guy out there that's that good for 27 minutes a night. Like he was everywhere. I was blown away by how good he is. Like it's just.
Oh, and it kept coming.
It just kept coming.
Byram.
He's great too. Byram's great, clearly, but Dahlin is just a step above.
Yeah. And it becomes not even about Buffalo. Like you're not in all these games. We just watched them play 5 playoff teams.
Yeah, 5 top 10 teams in the league.
They can't play with those teams. And obviously it hurts not having Willie and Tanev. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it does. You're not that close. You could add Makar and McKinnon to the team, and I'm not sure that they're winning those games they just played. Yeah, okay, they would help.
Yeah, they might.
We got a couple of Kyper's Clippers, and head coach Craig Berube, he was not a happy guy.
He was as pissed off as he's ever been.
Which one do you want to play first?
I think you should start with the clip 1 and then move on from there. So let's do clip 1 overview of the game, please, Derek.
I thought, we had a couple bad breaks go off our guys, but end of the first period, we turn a puck over, they score. And then the end of the second period, it's not even, it's a shot from the point, but we don't have our guys in front of the net and they score. That's the difference in the game for me. And we come out in the third and we get scored on in the first shift. It's just 2 or 3 mistakes and they're in our net.
The third period thing was hilarious because TSM panel, of course, what they would do, what any panel would be doing. This is the biggest period of the year. If they lose this and blah, 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 blah. And I barely sat down with my bowl of popcorn. It's like, bing, ball. I'm like, oh, it's already 5-3. Like, wow, what a big period. They really showed up for it.
Yeah.
God. Good Lord.
And it's gone.
What an exciting biggest period of the year.
Yeah.
I cannot confirm this, but he got pissed on the podium.
Uh-huh.
And my guess is our Luke Fox asked him a question.
You may be right about that. Let's play clip 2. What did you learn about your team, please?
What did you learn about your team on this homestand?
What did I learn about them?
Yeah.
Well, that we gotta keep the puck out of our net is what I learned, and we didn't do that here at home, other than the Detroit game. It's the only game we did. But until we decide to do things right and keep the puck out of our net, and that's the goalies included, this is what you're going to get. We scored enough goals on this homestand to win games, but we didn't keep the puck out of our net. Until you want to keep the puck out of your net. And that's a couple things. Managing the game, puck play, don't give odd man rushes up, defend harder than we are. More desperation in defending, and goalies stop the puck. That's it. Well, we could score goals. We score goals. But until we want to keep the puck out of our net, this is what we're going to get. It's no more than that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's all it is. I don't need to learn anything about our team. I know our team, and they're capable of doing it. So, we can do it.
Yeah, that's the way Luke makes me feel too. Joking.
You know,
It's a good question.
first of all, I love that because that is like real and raw.
Yep.
I wish he would have spoke like that about 2 months ago when it could have mattered. Now that he's less guarded, it may be too late.
Yeah. It's the part that stands out to me is like the implication is that these guys don't want to do it. They don't prioritize it. We can do it, but they don't care about it as much as they care about getting their points. That's the offensive side of it. And that sounds really frustrating when as a coach is Berube. Berube knows what you have to do. He's won a cup. He's been in the league a long time. He knows what it looks like when a team is bought in.
I don't need to learn anything about our team. I know our team.
Unfortunately, some of has your team bought in falls on the coach.
Totally.
And the team has not bought in. And I think that comes from having a lot of offensive first guys. That's personnel too. But somehow you got to convince those guys it's more important to do this stuff first.
And he hasn't. He hasn't gotten them to buy in. He hasn't had them to make it a priority. And now he's starting to kind of snap a little bit more so than we've ever seen before. And 28 games to go.
And in fairness to Berube, he gave a thoughtful answer. The rest of it, he got frustrated. I'm always fascinated by people who talk themselves mad. I don't know if you're someone who does that, but like there was no new addition. He just kind of worked. Tortorella does that. Works himself.
I can do it with the best of them.
As you get going, like get more.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the Zane Parekh take a few weeks ago. He started out being like, "Oh, it's not that bad." He's like, "Oh, yeah." By the end of it, he was like, "This kid, what's he doing?"
Thank you, Sam. Excellent example.
Thank you.
But like for me, I need like a new stimulus to like get mad again. But some people, Tortorella was always good at this. Work up. And by the end of it, he's more mad than when he started somehow. Berube, that kind of happened to him there.
Luke was trying
No
to
more than that. I don't want to talk
get in
about
again.
it
It's
anymore.
probably
That's all it is.
It's probably a thing where he could see him.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah. I don't want to follow up from you. Yeah.
"We're done here."
I think about 2 weeks ago, I wrote on Joseph Wall for the Toronto Star.
Yep.
And that was coming off Colorado. What are you laughing at? Don't laugh at me.
You cursed the goalies. this year.
No.
Yeah.
I did not curse the
Yes,
goalie.
you cursed the goalies.
What I did was right. He's got a ways to go to be trusted. That's what I wrote. And you want to sit there and say, I cursed him, or I might have been
no
right a little
cursing.
bit.
You're right.
And, even that, so I totally think that he was disappointing last night in this stretch where they've really needed him. He hasn't been there for them. But even Berube going through the goals, like the game wasn't close. Buffalo was way better last night. It wasn't like, they had some bad bounces or whatever. It wasn't close. So, yeah, Wall was bad. He was, throw him in the pile with the rest. But
we suck.
That wasn't a close hockey.
Leafs had 8 shots with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the second period.
Right.
They had 3 goals on 9 shots.
They didn't get to play, really. Like, the Sabres just skated circles around him.
Yeah.
Killed him.
Well, it's not good.
No.
So,
do you want to hear the goaltending stuff?
Yes.
this is just a clip about more of his frustration. You can play the clip.
You mentioned the goalies.
Yeah.
Did you wish you had Dennis Hildeby at any point during this homestand he's been playing?
These are our guys. Stolarz is back, ready to go. So this is decisions that you got to make. They're our goalies.
Luke. God, Luke's got some guts, man.
He hangs in there, man.
And Berubie's answer
the
is,
job.
I'm going down with the ship.
Yeah.
And these are the guys.
It's also, by the way,
These
someone
are our
else built
guys.
the ship. I'm going to go down with it, but these are the guys that are the ship.
Well, so the next big question that everyone's asking, as you would know.
You got anything else? Do we need Berube anymore? You got
want anything else? What
team
else we got?
identity. It's just a waste of time, isn't it?
At this point, I think we played the key points from the.
Okay.
I mean, actually, we should play this Matthew Nyes clip, which, as I found, was pretty fascinating from last night because the standings talk has been pretty relevant. And there's a question to him after the game about like where they're at, and just listen to his thoughts here. We could play that Matthew.
Yeah, I
Nyes.
think that there's still a lot of hockey left, and I think the standings are really close. I haven't really looked at it much, to be honest with you. That's how confident I am that we're going to get there. We just got to focus on each game, and ahead of us is four big games on the road. So that's the main focus. I think I'm not going to really look at the standings or the point totals at all. I think we're just going to try to focus on playing to our identity, playing our hockey, and trying to win games.
So
I'd consider a look. Maybe have a peek.
When I played at Maple Leaf Gardens, every day there'd be NHL standings in the dressing room. I don't know if they have standings
Oh, they're there.
anywhere in the dressing room, but in my day, every day, guys would walk in, and I'd find Larry Murphy just standing there, staring at the standings, going, "We got a lot of losses. We got a lot of losses. I really believe that Matthew Nyes needs to look at the standings and acknowledge we got a lot of losses.
It's fun.
No?
Yes, I just think that kind of speaks to
I admire his attempt at
sure.
showing confidence in the team or
Well,
whatever.
he listens to you every day. That's the problem.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know, but it is. It kind of reminds me of like if your grandma's dying on her deathbed, and you're like, yeah, and I'm going to medical school, and everything's going to be great, and we, just like tell the fans what they want to hear. It's not going to happen. We all know it's not. I don't know. Okay.
So,
Let's
what
do
did
it.
you guys spend the majority of your talk last night? Was it on past or future?
I would say half and half.
Yeah, a balance. But I will say I wrote an article today.
All right.
And
And, I did skim through it a little bit.
Oh, is it up?
It is up.
Okay.
And you touch on where do they go from here, correct?
Where do they go from here? Towards the last third of the article, I kind of pivoted to we're all aware that they have to do a retool. This is not a rebuild situation, and I know that maybe you're not as fussed on Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, I don't know, but they're not going to sell those guys. So it's a retool, and if it's going to be a retool, who's going to do the retool? We've talked about that on this show.
We did. I brought that up the other day to you guys.
Yeah.
In terms of who's making that decision.
Right. And so it is at a real crossroads here. I can't help but think of what the Buffalo's Bills just do. They fired the coach.
They fired
Kept the GM.
No, they fired the coach, kept the GM, but I think actually that Sean McDermott picked Brandon Beane as the as the general manager, like he was part of that process.
Okay.
And then they just fired McDermott and hired the offensive coordinator Joe Brady.
Okay.
So that's what the Buffalo
I
Bills
just
did.
feel like there is an order to this stuff where, you want Shanahan to have picked his GM and you want your GM to have picked his coach, and there's an order to this stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like it didn't work when Kyle Dubas and Mike Babcock were together. That wasn't who Kyle wanted to run his team. So if nobody's getting fired, then we can proceed and start going, okay, what are we doing? Whatever.
No, you can't.
If anyone's getting fired.
we need answers to that question first.
That's what I'm getting. That's
Okay.
the whole story.
So your article, it's out on sportsnet.ca by Justin Bourne, and it's titled Maple Leafs should be deadline centers but have bigger questions to answer first. What is the biggest question first?
Should they fire the GM or coach?
Okay. And the answer is?
The answer is that I laid out, I like to say that I led a horse to water. Here is the information that we have.
Okay.
The team, a couple of years ago, very good defensive team, great in the standings, had real talent, felt good, underlying numbers were awesome. It's getting worse, significantly worse over the last couple of years, even though the numbers were bad last year. I look at the state of Calgary and Trees, what happened with Tree Living there. I look at how they tried to replace Mitch Marner here. It's not going good. And on the coaching front, do you want to do that too?
So
or one at a time?
No, go
The coaching front.
Okay.
There's a couple of ways you judge a coach. You judge it by defensive structure and defensive numbers to me, because you can make anyone play in their positions. Special teams, the power play, the penalty kill.
Okay. But
they're bad.
I appreciate you putting them together, but we really shouldn't, because we need to answer questions on the GM first. The coach is after a big portion of the GM's work is kind of done, so he knows what kind of players and team he has.
What kind of coach he needs.
What kind of style you want. We're getting way ahead of ourselves to go and sit there and say, you got to get a new coach tomorrow, because we don't know what kind of players are going to end up.
Totally. That's why I believe there's an order to these things.
So your first question, which you want to lead me to water, is should they fire the general manager?
Mm-hmm.
My second question that should follow up your first question is, if they do, who replaces him? Who makes the calls now?
Mm-hmm.
Who decides what players leave and what players come? Isn't that the second question?
Sure. So quite literally, I'm asking you, who hires the general manager? So Keith Pelly, CEO of MLSE.
It has to be him. It has to be him.
So that's your answer. He's the one who will choose. And I assume he has a broad board of people around him to discuss and get advice and who we think is the right guy.
And you want Keith to do this before the season ends and not in the off season?
Well, if you do it in the off season, there's probably other people available. I don't know who's available right now that, can just step in here and do this today.
My guess is not many.
Right. And so then what? Are you going to hang on to assets because you can't fire the GM now because there's not someone to replace him with?
That's it. Those are all legitimate questions, and they're tough answers.
That's the title of the article.
There's no easy answer. There's no easy answer.
No.
Turn my mic. Can I present to you a case that there is a very natural break and reset that we're heading towards here in the schedule, where there is an opportunity to really look yourself in the mirror and figure out where you're at in terms of they're going out on this road trip. I know that, Vancouver stinks. Seattle had a big win against, I think they beat Washington 5-1 last night. They definitely don't suck. Calgary is whatever. There's a chance that they get one win before the break, okay?
That's the best case scenario, Sam. So it's really clear what has to be done.
Can Brendan Pridham handle trading all these guys for second and first round picks? Can Lalonde do the Horacek thing towards the end of this year and just figure it out in the offseason? You can't.
Okay, hold on for a second.
You can't be half pregnant here. You have to make a decision.
Why doesn't if people are ripping on Tree Living, why are they not ripping on Pridham too? He's been around for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
His fingerprints are all over the management team.
Totally agree.
We're talking about contracts that a lot of people hated over the years. What happened here?
Wow.
Why does Pridham come in and be the guy now?
Just because I know that he's an assistant general manager and that maybe listen, I'm grasping at straws here. I'm looking for ideas, but I don't know why.
And, listen, I'm not one way or another. I'm not sitting there going like.
You seem to be guiding us to an idea.
Yeah,
No,
what's
I can honestly sit here and tell you I don't have the idea of this is the way it should be, and I'm not even saying that Pridham is going to be bad or can't be a great general manager down the road, but I'd rather not do anything instead of making more bad decisions.
Well,
and to sit there
that's
and
the worst
say
decision.
to sit there and say Pridham, who was involved with Tree Living and Kyle Dubas all these years, I certainly like to know what where his responsibility lies in some of these things? Or did he just push paper and pens for everybody? Did he just fill out forms? Did he have an opinion on Holmberg? Was he for Holmberg, against Holmberg when he left?
He was the cap guy, right? He was the cap guy for years where he made the math work.
But he made the math work, but he was also involved in negotiations.
Yeah.
So,
I'm with you. Listen, I always say...
I don't know about Brandon coming in here and...
Neither do I.
And separating himself from what's happened the last 10 years.
But the problem with the other solution, which is, to your point, just ride it out this year, is if you let guys walk, Kip, and don't do something, you've missed the whole chance to retool. That's what you did with Marner. You said, maybe something good will happen later. No, it won't. You need to be proactive. Bobby McMahon has value out there. OEL has value right now. This summer, Bobby's going to go, thanks, I'm going to take my 5 sheets per year somewhere else.
Maybe then you come to the conclusion that you order Tree Living to sell 3 or 4 pieces and get whatever you can, and then we're going to reassess you in the summer and you let him go.
Very possible as an outcome.
If that's the case, okay. But is he going to be willing to do that?
Well, sure.
Sam, I've been telling you all week, okay? It's not his decision.
Okay.
It's not his decision.
Okay.
It'll either be ownership to Pelly or Pelly to Tree Living.
Allow me to play.
That's the way it works in the world.
Allow me to play devil's advocate in the world, because this is a radio program and that's what you do.
Yeah, but
is there a chance he's been just handed a raw deal here, Tree? Walk into the Mitch Marner thing 2 weeks before a decision has to be made. No chance to really look around. This year, goaltenders are not there at the start of the year. Players are hurt. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong after a 108-point season.
He had first rounders for Carlo, okay, and Scott Lawton. You're not hanging out on anybody but him.
You like the Stolars pickup. You like the Ekman-Larsson pickup. These are things he's done. Like, is there any world where they say, all right, some good, some bad, we'll hang on?
This is a team in October we all had in the playoffs. Everybody liked the feel of, hey, even if it's a wild card spot, they're going to get in. Everybody, us included. Okay. Keith Pelly was talking about being all in. He was talking about cap space and how they were going to use it. They were talking about going for it. I don't know. Does Tree Living really think you go from that to, I kind of walked into this and I really had a raw deal and, I'm going to fix it now?
It depends on that relationship with Pelly. They had that sort of, these are the two guys, him and Berube were going to be the figureheads, but I don't know. I
don't see it flying. And you tell me, you're representing a lot of the fan base, Sammy. You see that flying over?
What?
Keeping Tree Living and Berube?
No. People are pissed. They've had enough. I think when you are in supposedly your competitive window and you have a season like this and you're at the helm of one of the most famous franchises in all of sports and it goes like this, there's going to be questions that are asked. And I thought the Carlo trade last year, I defended it. I was like, they needed to get a defenseman. Were they just going to go into the playoffs with Philip Myers as their top right-hand shot defenseman? I'm not a general manager. I wasn't the one who pulled the trigger. Bad trade. The Lawton one, more defensible for me. Still not a great trade. It's just you're judged on the decisions you make. And unfortunately for him, those ones were bad ones and they didn't work out.
What's tough as a GM is when on those trades, no one ever remembers retention, right? Like a lot is paid to get a team to eat millions of dollars. And that was part of those deals.
100%.
That'll never come up.
You brought it up. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Last night, did you guys talk about Matthews and his future?
Yeah, probably came up, and I mentioned it in my article as well.
I did see that, yeah.
That's part of...
What conclusion did you come to?
The conclusion
No
is...
conclusion.
Yeah, well, the conclusion is just you're very much in a Quinn Hughes situation where I think if it goes well next year, that I think you're all right. I think if it goes badly, I think you might be in a Quinn Hughes situation, if you know what I mean.
So why wouldn't you learn something about that from that situation and get ahead of it. Me, as early as I can, I go to Matthews and I go to Nylander. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
are you in or are you out?
I mean, neither guy can sign a new contract, so.
No. It has nothing to do with contracts. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, are you in or are you out?
Mm-hmm.
Look me in the eye and tell me. Because if it's nothing but not all in, let me know now.
Yeah.
That's the hard conversation that you got to have with Austin as early as this summer.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we heard with their old deal, his old deal, that they talked 2 years in advance of it and some planning. And I'm sure that conversation will be had. But, like, I know you think he's got flaws in his game, and I know you think that he's something of a wimp, but...
No, hold on. Okay?
Strong.
I don't consider anybody that's not capable of doing something a wimp.
Okay.
All right? That is just
unwilling
that's a
to flex
fall.
his muscle.
He is not what I believe he should be to maximize everything about him,
Mm-hmm.
and that's his choice, and I respect that.
So you've
okay?
watched him play hockey the past month.
Yes.
Where do you have him in the world as a hockey player, as a centerman in the NHL?
As a centerman, I told you this. I've talked to you this about maybe 3 years ago. He is not my ideal centerman. He's not a facilitator.
Okay.
He's not a passer.
Right.
He's a pure shooter. I don't think, like other number one centermen, he has the ability to make others around him rise better. And I don't think he is a number one center in its purest form. That doesn't mean that there's not value in him. That doesn't mean I can't win with him.
Yeah.
I just can't have him as my number one alpha dog.
So you don't think Austin Matthews is a number one center? Was that what you just said?
On a Stanley Cup team, yes,
Okay.
I believe that.
So you think, so then I'm trying to put a number on it where he is in the world. Is he the 10th best center in the world,
No.
the 15th, the 20th, the 30th, 35th for you? Way up there. Okay, well, then that's just fundamentally different than how I see it. Even to me, if you are the most critical viewer of Austin Matthews in the world, you got to have him as the 10th best or the 15th best. You know,
I don't know what best means.
gives you
Tell
a chance
me
to
what
win the
best
game.
means.
Gives you the chance to win
Is
the
he
game.
one of the most talented players?
Gives
is
you
he,
the chance
is
to
he
win the game.
10th most talented player? Yeah, possibly. But best means leading my team, being a captain, a spokesperson, having attitude, making guys around you better, making them accountable.
I just can't imagine a world with you as general manager where you think the Leafs get better after trading Matthews. And I know you feel this way about Nylander too. It's like to look at the only two guys who help you win games and go, they're the problem, is insane.
Can I
It's
turn
insane.
two guys into maybe 3 or 4 guys that can help me win? That's the question they got to ask now.
Yeah, you can get a bunch of quarters for $1, 4 of them. But I just don't think it's as good as having that solid number one thing you can roll out
10
there.
years to prove this point, and you failed every year, Justin.
I know, and Alex Ovechkin was that guy till his 13th year. These are good players that are hard to come by. And if you sell, you're praying to get 3/4 of a Matthews in the draft. He's not where the problem is. That's fine if he can be better, if he has growth to do, whatever. You're not better by not having him. So as they go into the offseason, this conversation with him has to happen. Are you going to be here? Do you want to be
Okay, so I am not saying it's impossible to keep him and retool and put yourself right back in the game. That's what you're talking about right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Then you better acquire some assets at the deadline to have something
So
to do that.
you're basically looking at like, the Boston Bruins as an example.
I think that's a best case outcome. You know, I don't know.
The Caps are out of the playoffs now, but they've done the on the fly retool as well. Like
Isles have done a quick flip.
Yeah,
like I know that those teams didn't rise to win a Stanley Cup, and I think the Leafs got their backs up against it. But unless you want to say at this point, which is maybe what you do want to do, that we're being the Canucks, get rid of Horvat, get rid of Miller, get rid of Quinn Hughes, we're going to try again, which is one of the options here. Willie and Austin would fetch a whole boatload.
Yeah, they would. They would. We're talking about a ton of assets, but
not ready for that. They're still too young.
That's 3 to 5 years.
That type of rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
My God, yes.
At least.
Oh, my God.
3 to 5 years.
Because you're being Chicago, you're being Detroit, you're being San Jose, where you say our best players are going to be, they're not on the team yet.
This rebuild to get to this point was a miracle.
Yeah.
How quickly it happened. Where they got Marner, they got Nylander, they win the lottery, they get Matthews, and then like all of a sudden they're good. Like the Leafs getting to where they were from this point was way faster than it ever happens for any team. I know they haven't won anything, but I'm watching Matthews last night, and I know Kip, but I mean he's just got such a heavy lift with this team right now. He still ends up with 3 points.
Yeah.
He's playing with two of the worst defensive forwards in the league. He's doing everything he possibly can. He's still really good. He's still really good.
But hold on. I'll play Matthew. Yeah. Austin Matthews just heard you say that and go, I'm going to be 30 in a couple of years. Why do I want to stay and be a part of that?
Oh, I think that's a very real outcome.
Yeah.
I actually think that if we're being all honest with the truth serum stuff here, I think Matthews is probably looking around going, oh, it's pretty bleak going forward.
That's why you have to look him in the eye and say, are you in or are you out?
Yeah, and if he goes, yeah, I am.
Then what?
Move him. Move him. You going to keep him, Sam?
No, he just said he's in. But, it's the level of...
We were in or out?
Yeah, in. Yeah, I'm in. Okay. The level of... I think it's...
Listen,
he owes. I'm in. He owes more than that.
I think he probably looks at Mitch and he doesn't want all his years here to go down the drain and come home to booze either. I think he's probably aware of, if I'm going to leave, how is this going to happen?
To me, bad years happen, and you're allowed to have bad seasons, and teams have had bad seasons with good players. Listen, Kyper, just let me finish. I know you're...
Yeah, I'm fine.
But there is an opportunity, and going back to our original point here, where if you sell off some of these pieces at the deadline, you have extra cap space, you have extra assets, and you have a new voice, and you can bring in and be good again next year. You have good players.
Stop it, because
why is that not possible?
Because you're uttering the same words when Marner left. You sat there and said, I love the cap space. They're going to go get a guy. He's going to be great. And it didn't happen, Sammy. It didn't happen.
But that's why the GM is sitting here on the hot seat.
It's not going to happen this summer, and it's not going to happen.
Why could it happen?
Because they're not out there, Sammy. They're not out there.
Well, they could be in the summer with extra assets. So you just want to go to past the deadline, just not move anything, and just go into the offseason with no assets and trade everyone away.
I'm not saying that.
Well, then what are you saying?
I'm saying there's no easy fix here.
Of course,
okay?
It's really hard to build a good hockey team.
It's not happening. You're not going to get 2 or 3 second rounders for your guys and then turn around and be a good team by November, December. It's not happening.
I think there's a possibility
going for them is that
I would just watch the team that's in the Leafs division do it to them last year. The Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
Who are now 8 points ahead of the Leafs.
Okay. Get rid of OEL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
And then look at your defense. Boston did it. You're saying they still had Charlie McAvoy and Lindholm.
Yeah.
2 quality number 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
You tell me you're going to compare Boston's retool with that blue line compared to getting rid of OEL and being left with Morgan Riley and the rest of them?
I think Boston also doesn't have
you're comparing
Matthews,
those
Nylander,
two.
Nice guys. It's different.
No, but they have
allocation of
Pasternak.
Points. Yeah.
Listen, so it's just you have one of the best. You just have multiple best players.
You had Swayman and 2 quality A guys after your retool.
Well, listen,
Leafs have no goalie right now you can trust and 0 on the blue line.
Okay, so there's fold up shop. Quit trying. Trade everybody
you don't
and
seem
just
to have a point about what should happen. You got to pick a lane. You can't just say nothing works.
Just
so
quit
what works?
and quit and be the Canucks. Be the worst team in the league now for 5 years, and you have Matthews and Nylander on your roster. Just suck.
Get ready.
That's the move
for the rebirth of pain.
Okay,
and if it's
then trade them all now.
But this is the thing. Then the GM thing has to happen, and then someone has to come in and say, I'm doing the Matthews and Nylander trades. Here we go. Tough start, but it would show a lot of chutzpah.
If I was to guess right now, they'd try the retool.
yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
I mean, that's obviously the move. Like, it's risky, but
Very risky.
Austin Matthews guys don't come around a whole lot. And I've watched him his whole career. I've watched every game that he's ever played.
Yeah.
He's the best Leaf that and it's just
As long as he's in, I think there's a chance that they're still going to try to work around him. He's flawed for me, guys.
Well,
He is,
obviously.
right?
Yeah, but it's easy to say
That's
everyone's
fine.
flawed that
That's
doesn't
totally
win.
fine.
Like, they're flawed. They haven't won. Everyone who doesn't win is flawed. Like, it's just, stop trying.
Well, yeah, I get it. I get that he's not the perfect guy. I think that imperfect guys have been surrounded in the right places in ways that have led to success, and that's what you're trying to do. And you hope for individual growth too, which is possible too. We've seen that from players over the years as well. So,
Have we got a mailbag?
I don't care. Like, release Kyper wants to rebuild the whole team, sell everybody off, be the Canucks. Maybe we'll get McKenna.
it'd be fun years doing the show.
Yeah, I love it.
There's
Are we going
pain
to take
coming.
a quick break?
I can't wait just to watch let's go.
All right. Okay, hold on. We'll have a discussion on McKenna
Yeah, great.
after the break.
Great. Yeah, can't wait. He'll be good in 6 years.
All right. Catch your breath. More Real Kyper and Bourne after these words. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. It's the Leaf Hour edition of our program. Just talking NHL draft, McKenna, before the break. So, as we know, the Leafs gave the Boston Bruins their first-round pick.
Hadn't heard.
For Carlo, which is top 5 protected.
Couldn't get top 10 on that tree.
So, right now, let's just say your game to game from the pick being 12th overall to maybe 7th overall. If you sell off your pieces, which you're talking about, there's a good chance it'll be closer to 7.
Yeah.
Don't you just completely tank and get your pick back at 5?
I got to tell you, so I put thought into this like a lot of
hate
people. I know.
Uttering those words. I am disgusted. I want to go have a shower right now.
But I looked at this, Kip. I think it's too far to fall. I don't think they can get there. Like, they have
We got a lot of losses.
They,
We got a lot of losses.
They would- they would have
That's
to.
not why I said it. So
They
we
would
can
have to
clip it.
lose. I don't know. They'd have to win 10 of their next 30 games or whatever it is.
Lose.
Or sorry, they would have to win 10, lose 20.
Oh, yeah.
They probably have to lose 20 of their last 28, 29 games.
Okay.
That's. I mean, they got. I know not your favorite guys, but Matthews and Nylander they'll do a couple things in a couple games that'll win a
Or
couple.
they could suffer more groin pulls and suffer really, like maybe they need a break after the Olympics.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking.
Matthew Nyes' hips still barking at him after the
Maybe you
Olympics
can
are
have some
running
minor
down.
surgery.
Here's my nightmare that I have in my head, that they do it. They plummet all the way and they finished 5th from the bottom.
They get the 6th.
Well, no, someone, the draft lottery, someone jumps them. They move to 6.
Yeah.
The draft lottery is right there for anyone to jump and slide in. So you actually have to finish 4th from the bottom to feel any comfort
So
that you keep your pick. Oh,
I know I don't know you don't want to do this, Kipper, but if they were to sell at the or try to retool,
Yeah.
can I say the names that I'm thinking?
Absolutely, Sammy.
Are we ready for
Sammy
that?
Manifesto.
I don't have it in a manifesto. That was the one thing only.
No, it's not.
People are tweeting.
Buddy,
me
we're
texting-
bringing it back.
For what? I'm not going to unnaturally do a manifesto. It's just that day I needed it. So starting with Lawton. That pains me to say, but Lawton, because I
Wow.
love him. Okay.
Yeah, Philly's talking about how they miss him. Quiet bench in Philly.
Bobby McMahon. Stetcher. Another heartbreaker. Troy's boys. Carlo. Could I interest you in Carlo?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that's 4 guys. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Could I interest you in that? Like, I'm not saying all these guys are going to go. I mean, you still need to ice an NHL hockey team. But these all guys. Michelli. Could I interest you in Michelli? And I'm sorry, Nick, but your son, Nick Robertson. That's the however many guys, 7 guys that I'm.
I think it'd be
shopping
easier just to
aggressive.
say
Max
who you
Domi has value right now. He has
What?
played. Yeah, Max Domi has value.
Well, then pick up the phone,
right?
and make that decision.
There's a lot of guys, serviceable guys, I would be looking at going, love to have him in my lineup right now as a depth guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that would be a great place to start. That's the type of guy where it's like probably not moving the needle for you.
But he just traded almost half the team.
But I'm not. I just
That
said I'm not trading all those guys. I'm just saying if I'm Treliving and I'm sending out the email about who's available, those guys are on the list.
Okay.
Well, here's who you're not trading: Matthews, Tavares, Nyes, Nylander.
Not Tavares?
So in my
McCabe?
retool, I envision in a short while winning a Stanley Cup with Matthews as my number 1 centerman and John Tavares probably at 37 to 38 as my number 2 centerman.
No, I think he's playing wing. He's playing wing on your very good team that you're building here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen,
I don't know.
it's a heavy lift, but you got to try. Like, you can. Okay.
Out of all those names,
Can I offer-
how many first rounders are coming back?
Probably one.
Well, definitely OEL. There's the opportunity to get one. I think McMahon could, if you leave this till March 4, 5, 6, and the Oilers or someone like that are going, got a big body. Like, I think there's a chance if you think you can re-sign him, he can get you one.
Someone
Or
gets
close to.
a little squirrely close to the deadline. So let me present this plan to you, Kyper. Okay? You try to do my plan. You do your offseason. You build this mega team that I'm speaking of. And things start to go off the rails. And they suck again next year. And it's no good. And they're getting the same injury luck and all this different stuff. Their goalies still suck. All this stuff that's happening. Then we can talk about it. But I don't think you can have one bad season and then just quit. That's how I feel about it. They've been a good enough team. They've been a playoff team for 9 straight years. Like, having one bad season with these guys in their 28, 29 season doesn't mean you have to shut down the whole franchise. That's just how I feel about it. Like, but if they suck halfway through next year,
yeah. Well, that's
let's
why I
talk.
kept bringing up Quinn Hughes. I think that it totally changes the math if you're at January next year
Yeah.
and they're bad again. It's like, well, things are going to happen here.
sorry, mailbag. We screamed for too long. But do you not think that's a possibility? Like,
I think it's.
you're not allowed one bad season?
I think thinking that you could keep Willie, Matthews, and Tavares, and we haven't even talked about Morgan Riley, but thinking those 3 guys you could still build around and have a competing team is fool's gold.
I think the easiest thing to do is to be the guy you're being today. I think it's easy, and I don't think to just say that won't work, that won't work, that won't work, because it is. I agree with you that a lot of these things are challenging, may not happen, probably won't happen, but to not have any alternative solution, unless you're saying, which you won't definitively say, that they need to blow it up.
Yeah.
Then if that's
they need to blow it up.
that's hard to say. There
Yes.
you go.
They need.
There you go.
They need to
took
blow
us
it up.
53 minutes. But
That's the right answer, but I don't think they want to go that route,
Yeah.
right? I don't think that they feel like.
And I love that because I think there's a really good case that that's the right answer. But I don't think that you can do it. Like, I just don't, because of the things you're saying about giving up on a group and finding
Yes.
these elite talents, and, you know, there's
and
still
asking
more to
Sammy
it.
to check his emotions for 3 years.
And they're still selling
it's,
tickets,
right.
and there's so much more to it.
my favorite activity, I just get to watch them suck for 5 seasons. Can't wait.
I'm just saying,
Can't wait.
I think there's a chance that that's the correct answer, but I am not in that camp. I would be, let's try this way, and if we're wrong, we're wrong. At least we tried.
What an hour.
What an hour.
Blowing up
What do we do now?
at the
Like
53
I said,
minute mark.
I need a shower.
Oh, my God.
All right. Just warming up here. We go national next. Cal Clutterbuck. Oh, what a pain in the ass he was when he played.
Yep.
Former NHLer. Now doing excellent work with the New York Islanders on MSG Network. He'll join us next when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. All right, let's kick it up a notch on the national edition of our program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee with you with the next 2 hours. We are live on Sportsnet, 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365.
I thought you said, and screaming always, which actually works for our show, considering the first hour.
But I'm saying screaming instead of streaming for the rest of the year.
I gotta tell you, I'm tired. That first hour, like, I mean, this is a conversation that the National Hour love, but Toronto's
Down bad.
We're burning a little bit here right now, and it's just.
Buddy, Vancouver Canuck fans are sitting there going, misery loves company.
Exactly. That's exactly why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
That they love it, but it just.
We're all pals. We're in the sad club. Hey, find out from Bruff. Can we be in the sad club now?
I think
it's
they
not
got to
related
lose a
thing,
few
right?
more.
Yeah.
They'll lose a few more than that, but.
In a couple of minutes, we'll welcome in Cal Clutterbuck, former NHLer, who just retired, JB, a couple of years ago?
Yeah. After running into every single person in the league. Pretty good run. And really just a beloved guy on the island and on MSG Plus. So he's got a lot of answers for us.
Yeah. And a great participant of the Gillies tournament, which is your late father-in-law.
Yeah. He's come down there every year, been a big part of it. Hoping to get you out this year. I actually have a reminder in my phone to make those arrangements. If we can make that happen, that would be fun.
Yeah. Can I bring Sammy to carry my clubs?
You can't. Nope. Not under.
I don't like golf and hanging out with ex-NHLers anyway, so it's all good. I don't
Sorry, Sammy. Not my call.
You on tonight, Scotiabank?
Not
Or
tonight.
did,
No, I'm on with you tomorrow, covering Leafs Kraken, though.
At 10 p.m.?
That'll be a cracking good time.
I think so.
Tonight on Scotiabank, Wednesday night hockey, Colorado versus Ottawa. We just spent an hour on our Leaf edition, pretty much rating off the Leaf season. Where are we on Ottawa, who is actually below the Leafs here?
Not by much.
If there's one thing you can say about Ottawa is that they've proven, at least JB, the numbers have proven that they are a deeper team than many, including the Leafs above them, with the one exception of goaltending and, if I'm not mistaken, penalty killing.
I think it's very frustrating for Sens fans because they win a lot of these games just not on the scoreboard. They outplay the opponent. I've got my Sport Logic quadrant of teams. They're one of 6 teams in the good in terms of both offense and defense quadrant, and they still are outside the playoffs.
And I put a story in here that Reimer is starting again and Allmark is going to back up again.
So
Linus Allmark's return to the starters net will have to wait. James Reimer will get the crease for the Ottawa Senators tilt against Colorado Avalanche. Sportsnet's Alex Adam reported Allmark will be the backup for the second straight game upon his return from personal leave. So
one thing I will note is, remember we had Valley on after the Islanders got rid of their goalie coach, and then Sorokin got hot. And he was like, the goalie community is worried about this becoming a thing that, can fix our goalie problems.
Allmark they just announced Allmark's mentor.
Yep.
Coming on full-time, I guess, for him.
New goalie coach and mentor is his old. Yeah, they brought in his old goalie coach and mentor to be his guy this year for his return to play.
And you believe from a league-wide perspective, this is
happening.
I know. There's a concern around it because...
Well, goalie coaches don't want to lose their job. That's all.
Okay.
Not that it's bad for teams.
Yeah.
Montreal also fired their goalie coach today. So there's a third team now this year that's like, we're going to fix our goalies, goalie coach gone. So this is going to be a new button for GMs to push.
Do you buy into the thought that goalies get to hire their own guy now?
That's an interesting point. Now, Sorokin's a big enough name that I get it.
Allmark's making $8+.
That's why.
$1 million.
Financially, they're invested in that guy.
They don't have any other choice but to try to salvage the trade and the signing.
Yeah, I call it throwing good money after bad, but what's a goalie coach cost? Pretty cheap comparatively to try to fix the $8 million guy, so I get it. But yeah.
Or at least make him happy.
That would help.
Is he just got the Avalanche flu tonight?
Oh, is that who they're playing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's not so much him as the team being like, we're not throwing him to the wolves to start things off here.
See, and yet we watched earlier this week the Leafs throw Stolars in after what we thought should have been a start or two for the Marlies. Heck, I went on record and said a week.
Yeah. And what did we say about that? Bad decision. It was a bad decision. They should not have done that to Stolars. That's not any evidence of, good process.
But we're talking about a team that we've written off or not yet.
Well, they're fascinating, right? Because if the team is good, you don't want to sell a whole bunch and change the team for next year. So, are they better off to just kind of keep the pedal down and keep going?
They need a St. Louis Blues 2019 miracle.
Yeah, that happened a month ago. That turned around. It's too late for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's again like the Leafs. It's not how many points they're out. It's how many teams they have to jump. Like the Sens are cooked.
Mm-hmm.
The Sens are cooked, but I don't see them selling too much because they kind of like what they're doing outside of the goaltending.
And the battle for Ontario has turned into the battle for draft pick position.
Yeah.
And it was the first round playoff matchup last year.
Not a bad idea for the Sens, who are very good, to just grab a good pick.
They're very good.
Okay, they're good.
They're good?
Yeah.
I disagree. I
I think they're good.
What's missing, Sam?
They're below. They're below
I
the
know,
Leafs.
I know.
We just talked about how bad the Leafs
I
are.
know.
They should blow it up. They're below them.
But they can point at their goaltending more so than any other team I can remember in a long, long time.
Yeah. It's been ugly.
All right. We talked about Cal Clutterbuck only being, 2 years removed from playing, if I'm not mistaken, Cal, 82 games. You ended your career after playing 82 games. You're supposed to end it when you played 9.
I wasn't ready to go there. I wasn't ready to go there. Felt like I had a pretty good run. It was a good way to end it for me. So here we are.
Appreciate you joining us. We were just mentioning you play in Justin Bourne's late father-in-law's tournament. Last time I heard, you were on the course giving it to me a little bit. And I just wanted to let you know I'm used to it based on working with Justin and Sammy up here. So no issues at all from my end, buddy.
I don't recall. I really don't recall.
That's okay. I'm coming. I'm playing next year or this summer.
We'll get you down there.
I'm playing this summer,
Good.
so I'm sure
I'll be there this summer.
it's a common theme, I think, not remembering too much from that tournament in my estimation from what I've learned. But so far, how's it going on the television side? We do have a lot in common. We both retired and jumped into this a little bit, but mine, I could tell you, no doubt, was a little rougher to get into it. I got fired after my first year of broadcasting. You won't have to worry about that.
No, I mean, you're in that market in Toronto. They're a little more cutthroat than they are up down here. So I think I'm okay. I'm just trying to stay out of the professionals' way right now, trying to learn my way.
So, Cal, tell us a little bit about state of the Islanders these days. I think fans are re-energized this season, pretty excited about the way things are going. Couple of trades here. How do you assess the state of the team?
Well, I think it starts with Matthew Schaefer. Obviously, I think he gets talked about a lot, but I think he deserves it. He's really injected a lot of life into not only the franchise, the fans, but the team, the players. And he's just an incredible, youthful, exciting human being to not only be around, but to watch play hockey. So, I think it's exciting for people. The excitement starts with a lottery draft win, right? You win the draft lottery. Everyone thinks that their first overall pick is going to be their next franchise changing player. And the last one here, in fairness, was John Tavares, and he was. And so then he comes in and is changing the franchise and is clearly going to change the franchise for a long time. So I think that just kind of solidifies, adds to the excitement, especially the fact that he's already doing it at 18 years old is so impressive. Everyone else is starting to rally around it. Matthew Darche has done a couple other things that are very exciting. I think you could pinpoint the Noah Dobson trade in the summer. I don't know if there was some foresight into Matthew Schaefer coming in and being the way that he is, or if it was just a deal that he felt needed to get done from a cap crunch perspective. But that being said, It worked out. Emil Heineman's been really good for this team coming out of that trade to get a couple other first rounders to add to a pretty barren prospect cupboard that was before this summer. And then there's a lot of things to sort of for Islander fans to be very excited about. And then the product on the ice with the way that Patrick's been able to coach this team in particular with just a little bit of different players, different skill sets. He's allowed them to be a little more exciting to watch. And so all of those things wrapped together, add up to what's been an exciting year here on Long Island.
You were drafted by Minnesota in 2006. Schaefer wasn't even born then. You've watched a lot of hockey. And have you
Thanks for the reminder.
have you ever seen anything, recall anything remotely like the influence that he's had on the Islanders and how important it was to rejuvenate this organization and really excite the fans down there? I mean, you watch it nightly.
Yeah, it just the only impact players I can think of that were drafted in that position are like Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby. The immediate impact, immediate excitement for a franchise that was just kind of starving for it, a franchise that looked like they were going to struggle for a number of years. But to speak to him in particular, he's doing it at a different position. I think the defense position is very difficult for kids to come in and do what he's been able to do, because not only is he in the rush all the time, we see a lot of young defensemen in the rush all the time. We've seen a lot of defensemen have great years in the rush and then have trouble solidifying themselves as NHL players. This is not the case. The kid knows how to play defense. He knows how to play hockey in general. And I think kids these days, a lot of them have trouble playing hockey. And, you guys know what I mean. But
Yeah.
for the people at home, there's a difference between having an immense skill set and a lot of talent and being able to actually play the game, especially at this level. So his play away from the puck, his play in his own zone is really what allows him to be out there for 27 minutes and be, an impactful player. He's now eating minutes against the other team's best. At the beginning, he was getting sheltered a little bit just to see how it was going to go. Now he's not being sheltered. He's getting Connor McDavid. He's getting Austin Matthews. He's getting Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner. So he's getting all those guys. And he's doing really well. And I was a little worried about his frame. I was a little worried about his size. I was a little worried about him getting pushed around. He has been pushed around. He has been targeted. Obviously, a point of contention on Long Island here is they don't have that guy that's going to deter people from taking liberties on him. As Justin, is so important. And Kyper, you too. It's important for young guys to feel like they can go out there and play their game. But it hasn't. He's been durable, and it hasn't seemed to bother him. So. It's been aces all the way around. Yeah, he makes mistakes, but he doesn't make young mistakes. He makes the same mistakes a Quinn Hughes would make, and he makes the same mistakes, these elite defensemen would make, and he's able to recover on a lot of them too. So, the blemishes that you don't really see, they don't stand out. They're not that frequent.
All right. I was going to ask you, give me a flaw, but I think you covered it pretty well. Other than just, he needs to physically get stronger. I mean, there's not much else, in terms of
I got to get Matt Martin out of the press box. That's all.
I'm still looking for one. I'm still looking for like a real flaw, a real hole in his game. I think there's been times where he's in tight in scheduling tight matches and playing consecutive days. There's moments through Christmas where I felt like he got maybe a little fatigued, but he seemed to have bounced back from that. You got to remember he only played 17 games last year and not at the NHL level. So, I thought that was going to be an issue. I think him not going to the Olympics is a great thing for the Islanders. I think it's a great thing for the kid too. For him, he's going to go home, get to spend some time at home, kind of reassociate himself with his regular life. And I think he's going to come back shot out of a cannon at the end of February. And I think he's going to have plenty of energy to get through this little stretch run that the Islanders have put themselves in.
Yeah, that is going to be good for them. I think a lot of Canadians are disappointed that it's not going to happen. And I think there's still people hoping that it will happen. But as of now, that'll be great for them. So assessing, looking at this Islanders team here, I don't want to say they're punching above their weight, but they're in third in the division right now. And they've just made 2 trades and a couple of veteran guys that they've added. What do you make of why they added Soucy and Palat and how they fit in there?
Well, two season-ending injuries to Paul Mary and Alex Romanoff, I think, are the impetus. They've been doing a good job getting through that. The last, I think Kyle went down in November. Romy went down a couple weeks before that. So they've had a long stretch here where they've been kind of trying to mix and match and fit some guys in. I think they're fine at the forward group when it comes to having NHL players. You've got a couple rookies in there, Siplikov being one of those guys that they were trying to cycle in and out and get more out of that they didn't get. And so that trade in particular, I think, is a good one because Andre Palat, we know what he can do. He's just one of those Swiss Army knife all-around players. Most importantly to me, he competes on a regular basis. I played against him a number of years. I played against him in playoff series, conference finals. He always has the ability to score a big one. He competes extremely hard. He can play in all situations. And then, Susie is an NHL defenseman, and they were lacking an NHL defenseman for that sixth spot. Here on Long Island, they were cycling in some guys from the minors, guys who were trying to get an opportunity, but I don't think we're quite ready to fill that role. They're also having issues with the way that they shoot and filling that spot. So Susie fits in there nicely. And I think the reason for it is that you've got a group where you really want to see what they're capable of with the NHL guys that you do have. You've got a couple guys that are kind of important that are coming up on deals, and JG Pajot, Anders Lee, Tony DeAngelo. I think Matthew Darche wanted to give these guys a chance with a full complement of guys to go down this road of trying to make the playoffs and then seeing what they can do when they get there, just so they can measure up, against the other teams that do have full rosters. Because if you don't make these moves and then you go through this, you're going to sit on the question of, with Paul Mary, with Romanov, do we do better? Does it work out better? I think this sort of eliminates those questions and allows them to go out and play. And you guys know how it is. You add a couple NHL guys to your locker room, you add another boost. And in these dog days of January, February, March, it's nice to be able to give a room a boost. And so I think it's a great move. I don't think he gave up a whole lot. Max Siplikov obviously fans had high hopes for him. I'm not sure I saw it working out here for him, to be completely honest. Just wasn't able to kind of find his role, his game, and how it fit into this particular lineup. And I'm sure with the Devils, he'll get a fair shake. But, in my eyes, he's added 2 NHL players without giving up a whole lot.
You're watching and listening to Cal Clutterbuck, former National Hockey Leaguer, now covering the New York Islanders for MSG Network. So behind the bench, Patrick Roy, no question, has had a major influence over this team the last few years. Just in terms of how you've watched him progress over the last little while, including a very controversial benching of one of his top players in Barzal, and still finding a way to move this team forward. Talk to us a little bit about Patrick and his style and how the team's responded.
Well, I think the skill players have responded very well to his style. I think the bottom 6 guys are going to respond to anyone's style if they get the opportunity to go out there and play, which he's done a lot more of this year, which is why I think the team is a little more well-rounded, why I feel like they do better on the road. But the Barzals of the world, the Horvats of the world, I think for a number of years being under Lou and Barry or Barry style Lane Lambert, there were different parameters for what you were allowed to and not allowed to do, what you were expected to do. And I'm come from that school of winning. I think, being a solid, sound, consistent team is the best way to go about it. But when you kind of take, when your best players feel like you're taking a little bit away from them and their ability to go out there and do what they like to do, it starts to wear on them. So I think Patrick's come in and allowed those guys to go out there and be creative. And again, his mindset is if you can make the play. But I think over a stretch, you talk about the Barzal benching. I think what happens is that sometimes you got to rein those guys in when they get a little too carried away with what they're trying to do. And if it's not working, if you're turning the puck over all the time and your team's only scoring 1 or 2 goals a game, then there's something that's got to give. So I think that was the message that was sent. I'm not sure it was so much about an isolated play as it was a continuation of 4 or 5 games of costly turnovers and goals against and potentially a lack of production on the other side. So he's given him freedom. He talks a lot about joy and having fun at the rink and you just got a different mix of guys in there. They've found their camaraderie with the new group, because you got to remember this group was together pretty well for a long time, ever since about probably 8 years of poor guys being there, and then off I went, and now Matt Martin as well. So Josh Bailey retired as well. So you've got a little bit of a shift in the personalities, and they're finding their way under Patrick.
Yeah, it's funny. I checked the stats. I don't know how long ago it was, but they were one of the teams that dumps the puck in the fewest now. They don't dump it in much at all, and that didn't used to be the case for a lot of years on the island. So certainly better for those skill guys, or at least something they enjoy more. Better or not, I don't know. One other guy I think worth mentioning here, like there's the chance that some hardware gets handed out on the island between Schaefer and the Calder conversation. Patty Waugh could be in Jack Adams, but also the goaltender there, Ilya Sorokin. They made a goalie coach change early in the year, but since then, basically, he's been the best goalie in the league. You've watched this guy for a long time. Is it just kind of more of the same? Has anything changed that he's having such a great year?
He was this way when he first came to New York. He had about a year and a half where he wasn't himself, and byproduct probably as well of the team. The team giving up opportunities they shouldn't be giving up on a regular basis. The quality of the team, it's difficult for goaltenders. I make the comparison to a Connor Hellebuck this year in Winnipeg. The team isn't as good as the team's been for the last couple of years. His numbers aren't the same. I think those two are related. It's not the Jets aren't worse because of Hellebuck, but Hellebuck's not worse because of the Jets either. But there's something there in between. Also, the Islanders hired his Ilya's goalie coach from back in Moscow, and he's come in. And I think what happens with that familiarity is just he can get back to his feels and kind of go back to with being less technical and being more a little reactive and using his instincts. And I'll tell you what, he's in my mind. There's no one better suited for the Vezina this year for me. He could be in the Hart conversation. I know there's a lot of guys in the league having monstrous years, and so that's a tough one to win. But for goaltenders, he's won this team. Off the top of my head, I could probably rattle off 10 games where if he wasn't between the pipes, they either only get a point or they get no points. So he's been their MVP.
So Cal, I don't know if you caught any of our conversation before you came on, but was it your era where players were able to now hire their own coaches? Because it didn't happen when I played, man. I would have loved it if anybody just listened to me for a second. But I know we're talking goalie coaches right now. But just the whole thing with coaches in general. And in my era, they just physically and mentally just beat us up sometimes. They were just hard. Like, I don't know what's going on now where you think players are less, and I know Patrick was there and benching Barzal was a big deal. I honestly believe some coaches out there are scared to do that. Right? I mean,
yep.
Do you see the same thing?
Well, I see coaches are in a weird spot now. You see a lot of younger coaches. I feel like back in the day, it was a coaching carousel of somebody who was an established guy. He gets fired, he goes to another team. There's a certain amount of respect between the coaches and the players. I think the players are also accustomed to holding themselves to a different standard as far as teammates go. So the shift in both of these things, you see a lot of young guys getting hired out of the minor leagues, and the guy in Pittsburgh, Spencer Carberry, they're all having success, but they're more of the mind of trying to get the best out of the player from a positive perspective. I think their mindset is how do I, what's this guy's personality like, and what is he going to respond to the best, rather than just painting everyone with the same brush. And so, individual coaches, just to talk on that. I mean, I hired Adam Oates like 7 years before I retired. I was probably on my way out of the league just because the league changes and you need to improve. And I didn't know really how to improve or where to improve. I think most people just go to the gym and figure if their VO2 max goes up by a couple of percentages, they're going to become a better hockey player. We all know that's not true.
Right.
So, he helped me tremendously just with the little things of the game, and then being able to have an individual conversation about my game. Because when you're in a dressing room and you've got a coach coaching 22 players or 24 players, including the guys who aren't playing, he's not there giving instruction or trying to work on your individual game. And so guys have taken it upon themselves to try and improve that part of their game. And And as Otzi says, if everybody on the team gets 5% better, then your team as a whole is going to get a lot better without actually changing much of anything. So, the problem that I have is when the guys pay attention to their individual coaches more than they pay attention to the coach behind the bench. I think you get a problem when that starts to happen. But I never did. I always just try to add it to the game plan that was on the board when I came in.
That makes a lot of sense. Just one quick one for me before we let you go here. Do you think the Isles are done at the deadline, or do you think they'll continue to add?
I think there's maybe one more move coming, but I think they're at the spot now where, like I said, I think Matthew Darche has been very pleased with the product on the ice most nights. I feel like he is in a position where, again, you're in a playoff spot. When you're in a retool or rebuild, you don't always get the opportunity to allow that team, or especially the younger players, let's just say Matthew Schaefer, for example, to go out there and experience what it's like to play in a playoff series. I think that's very valuable experience for kids, especially when they're young. It also ignites this kind of flame, like how hard it is to get in there, because it's going to be difficult for the Islanders to get in there. I think even down the stretch, it's going to come down to the last week or two. So just that grind of, but again, having a full complement of players and a legit chance to go in there and get it done. I think that's what he's trying to do right now in this moment for the Islanders. And I think he'll see what he has after that. And in the summer, he'll do what he has to do. But I really like those moves. Like I said, I really like him giving these guys a chance. And I think they appreciate it too.
Cal, great stuff, man, for a guy that pissed off a lot of people when you played.
Well, do what you're good at.
Thanks, man. Appreciate your time.
We're going to have you on again real soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Cal Clutterbuck. Great stuff.
Appreciate it.
That was awesome.
It's funny.
Very intelligent guy.
Loved it. If the Islanders get in that 2-3 game, you're playing either Pittsburgh, Washington, or Philly. Like, any of those teams scare you all that much?
Palat. I have a few Devils things. Yeah, but the thing, Devils fans, you always.
Oh, they're all over him.
They can't stand him.
No.
They're couldn't be happier to be rid of him.
Everyone on the team when he got traded, Hischier was like, that was the guy I went to the most for advice, the guy who was our emotional whatever. Sheldon Keefe was like, that guy set the pace for us every day in practice. He was the most important.
Pally was his nickname.
Pally.
I
like that.
Depth, right?
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a proven playoff guy. Just got to get him healthy and in a right frame of mind, and he will make a difference for them. And,
if you get next year, he's got another year in his contract. He's got a 16-team thing. If you got to flip him next year at the deadline, that's an option too. And I know Isles are hoping that doesn't happen, but
no, I think, and they're doing the thing where they're weaponizing their cap space, they're acquiring picks, and they get a guy that's good in their room. I think it's a pretty, I don't know. I'm not telling you that I pour over the Andre Palat tapes, but you hear what the coach says and what the other players say. That's valuable.
Yeah,
valuable.
Yep,
comes from a great organization in Tampa where they know how to develop people and win every year.
Yes, sir.
Game time.
Game time.
It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Only 3 games on the ice tonight.
We're cramming like crazy, and then on a Wednesday we only have 3 games.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 15 tomorrow. There's so many hockey games
right?
tomorrow. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then 1 Friday.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything about that.
Okay, I won't.
But we just talked to Cal Clutterbuck. He'll be on the coverage tonight for the Isles and the Rangers at UBS Arena.
The Susie Bowl.
He was, yeah. That's what they put on the marquee. Actually,
I think so.
He was talking up Matthew Schaefer there, as everyone does who watches Matthew Schaefer. Big night, bitter rival. Give me Matthew Schaefer to have 2 points tonight at plus 500. And the other game that I wanted to bring up, because we have it tonight on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey, the Ottawa Senators are home to take on the juggernaut Colorado Avalanche. Avalanche, as you would imagine, minus 155 on the money line. Colorado Avalanche plus 130. So do with that what you will. But God, that Colorado Avalanche team, they came in here. Was that Sunday afternoon in a snowstorm, and they were the snowstorm.
They really were. Yeah.
Anyways, that was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll go around the National Hockey League a little bit, including the news that Barkov is back on the ice for the Florida Panthers. We spoke on the Leafs' chances, Ottawa's chances. When we return after the break, we'll talk about the Florida Panthers. Have they got a chance for the third Stanley Cup this season? That and more when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button because we like that.
We were just having a discussion. One of sports guys' favorite things is just remember a dude.
Yeah.
You know, just I remember that we were just doing Marc-Andre Bergeron. Remember Marc-Andre Bergeron?
I do, yeah.
Sammy goes, yeah, I think
defenseman.
He really ripped it.
Left-handed shot.
I don't know about that.
Well, you got a 50-50 chance of being right.
McKee goes, I think he played about 500 games. Looked it up, 490. What a call.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby.
I just remember him because
Shoots.
he shoots. What way did you say?
Left.
I'm just quickly pulling up Hockey DB here. That's spinning. Play the
Wheel of death.
Well, the reason we brought it up is because we were talking about Rick DiPietro, who you scored on in an intra-squad game.
I did. Off him.
Shoots left. Yep.
Bergeron hit me in the wrist with a slap shot, and I spun and fired it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember the announcement of a 15-year deal, which was just
For Rick DiPietro? Yeah.
unheard of?
Yeah.
He's still making bank on that, I think.
That was everyone says like
Well, if it was bought out, then it was stretched out, right?
Yeah, I'm going to quickly look that up. Hold on.
That's
I
like
I think he's still being paid.
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, I think he's
Bonella?
almost,
What was it, Bonella?
No, Bonilla.
Bonilla.
I think he's
Bonilla.
like a year or two left of getting paid on that deal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know how to look this up. I don't know how to figure this out.
That's what we need out of Sportsnet.
What's that?
Like a deal
Bobby
like that.
Bonilla?
Yeah.
15-year deal.
Sounds great. Buy me out of it. Off
So-
you go.
So he signed it in 2006, and it was a 15-year, $67.5 million contract. So if I'm trying to figure out how it got bought out here, but it's not showing it. Anyways, don't worry. He's probably still getting paid.
All right.
Let's ask him.
Yeah, we'll get him
Call
on.
him up.
We'll have a chit chat with him.
Okay. Early in the program, we discussed Toronto and Ottawa, but Florida is in a situation where if we were talking about any other team except the Stanley Cup champions from back to back, we would have written them off by now, correct?
Well, yeah,
Florida?
Yeah.
they're sniffing now though. They're the team just on the outside of the. Well,
They've got
6 points
Kachuk.
back.
They've got Kachuk back.
Yeah.
Barkov, I don't think is scheduled to come back anytime soon.
What does that mean?
That means
Like, could he be back in March?
a week, 2
Okay.
weeks before the season,
Oh, for the end.
end
Okay.
of the season.
So he's not representing Finland. Is what you're telling me?
So, I mean, if you're going to be doing that, though, you better be damn sure that you're going to be in a playoff spot if you're bringing him back somewhat before the time that he was supposed to be coming back and he's supposed to be your cat. Like, you better be in a playoff spot if
He's not going to mess around with coming back too early for the sake of saving the season and jeopardizing anything he does in the future. I don't believe that's going to happen for a second.
Wonder how that affects their trade deadline. I guess they know he's coming back. Like, there's no.
Well, the new
worry he's
CBA
gone.
affects the deadline
they can't
because
change.
he would have shut it down and
Totally,
they
he
would
would've.
have hired somebody or traded for somebody of significance
Yeah.
and then piled them all on at the end.
This exact rule may have prevented Florida from a third straight cup because they definitely would have got a $10 million.
Panarin would be a Panther by now.
Healthy, for sure.
Panarin would be a Panther
But
by
now
now.
you can only dress on any given playoff game the salary cap number. So you can have these guys, but you got to put one of them in the press box.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did it take so long for that? Like,
Well,
what? Like,
well,
what? It's absurd.
They denied that it was a thing for a while.
Well,
The
it's
dudes were doing it.
absurd that it was
what
any
took
of the
so
other.
long is it needed to come up in a new collective bargaining agreement.
But that should have been the rule from the very beginning.
What was Kucherov? He wore.
He wore a
Kucherov wore the
shirt.
shirt that said $100 million or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
over the talking about what their actual salary.
And no
payroll
wonder they
was in
won.
the playoffs.
Yeah, they weren't playing by. They weren't playing by the rules. I can't even say that. But Vegas, like all the teams that won.
Well, Florida
Did it.
last year too.
Yes.
I think they were well.
Yeah,
over it.
Marchand.
How
That's
about the
Joe
guys
Marchand.
that did the original CBA and couldn't figure that out? They didn't see it.
that the cap would just disappear before playoffs.
Yes,
So if you had
and
a guy that
everybody would
come
load
back
up
after,
if you dragged an injured player in, you'd get him off the cap. You replace it with another guy,
it was Kachuk last year, right?
and
It was
then
Kachuk.
drop
And Marchand.
and then drop the cap altogether in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
Whose idea was that?
I think it's hard.
A dumb lawyer.
Oh,
That's whose
there's
idea.
no such
I was
thing.
just going to say there's none of those.
Hard to get through law school. They must all be smart.
But it is a fascinating what if, looking back on this era of hockey, what the different cup champions would be if that wasn't the case. Like, let me be Toronto guy
Let's
here.
have it.
Let me be Toronto guy last year. They don't beat the Leafs without Marchand. And they don't have Marchand on their team without
He
with the
scores
rules.
an OT winner, and he's
Yeah.
impactful in the series. It goes
Hey, you're
7
not going to get an
games.
argument out of me.
It's I'm not was within the rules, so they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to of
But it
course
was-
I have sour grapes. No question I have sour grapes.
Sourest.
The sourest of grapes.
Toxic waste.
But it's just really interesting to look back. Like, would Vegas have won theirs? They had 1 million guys over the cap. Anyways.
And just one more thing, that rule now completely screws the excitement of a trade deadline.
But hear me out on this. You can.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
actually,
it's. I think people are going to be disappointed a little bit here with either the lack of trades, or especially the trade deadline, which has been between TSN and Sportsnet, has been a signature day
And last year was
since
electric.
like my era of coming in 1998. It has been like a day where people would skip work, skip school to hang around.
I didn't need an excuse to skip college classes, but boy, I had a few beers
You were
and watched
glued
you.
to it.
Yeah.
You were glued to it.
Yeah.
Like that thing
It's
is
crazy to think I'm sitting here talking.
that day's gone.
Guys, I
now.
got nasty texts from my dumb lawyer friends.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, not
Sorry,
all
Clee.
of them. Not all of them. Just a couple.
Okay, but hear me out on this trade deadline thing. Right now, the roster max, you could have 23 guys on your roster, and you can still spend up to the salary cap. Is it $92.5 million? That's what you spend for your 23 guys. In the playoffs,
Yeah.
you can only have $92.5 million
Yes.
dressed for the game, which means 20 players.
Yes.
So you have 3 guys in the press box who don't count towards your cap. So could Barkov, in theory, come back after their season? They spend whatever.
What's Panarin make? 10 million.
Is it that much? Maybe get
Yeah, I
some
think so.
retention there
Yeah.
or something?
And you swap them out.
Yeah, you got a few guys up in the press box, maybe, make $1 million or whatever those guys make. I still think teams are going to go, I think we can still cheat. Like, it's going to
Definitely.
be harder, but I think we can find a way here. And if you're the Florida Panthers, you're the perfect team to cheat. You're right there. You get in.
Zito's like, what's the
So,
next
but-
loophole,
Florida,
baby?
Tampa, round 1.
But you trade for Panarin, but there's some nights he's going to be a healthy scratch.
Well,
That's what you're telling me.
you're getting, so if Panarin puts them at $100 million, you would have to have $7.5 million in the press box.
Yes.
So that could be Aaron Ekblad one night. That could be, however you want to find a way to get 7.5.
That is
up
a
there.
very, very expensive insurance policy.
Yeah, I don't think you put that guy in the press box. You just find a way. You could put 4 guys up there and dress 19 one night. Go 11 forwards and 60. You could have ways.
What's a beer league lineup? Just the best
ECHL,
guys.
10
Just the
forwards.
best guys.
and
That's
then,
interesting.
And then,
I'm just
and
saying,
then,
things
and
are
then
gonna happen.
October rolls around, and what do you do with these guys?
Yeah, I don't know, but you've won a cup. You're Florida, you're 3
Oh, yeah, you're hoping.
Yeah, well, that's the
You're
plan.
hoping that it solves all the problems.
You know who should trade for Panarin? Buffalo.
You think the Sabres are
Okay, we watched last night.
close?
I know
They
we
can
we
front.
we talked briefly about them, but they were very impressive.
I haven't watched a ton of them. I was blown away by how good they looked. Fast, aggressive.
Their best
They miss
players.
Norris, though. Their forwards are
Their best.
okay.
No. You're underselling it.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
I like
but,
hearing that.
But I watched Alex Tuck and Tage Mario Lemieux.
Tage Lemieux's back.
Tage Lemieux. They competed, man. They played hard. They're talented,
Yeah.
but they played hard.
And you know what else I'll say is the only little guys who really make it and stay effective in the NHL are guys who got a little bit of bite, a little bit of competitiveness. That Benson, great screen on the one goal. You see him punch the odd guy, and he got into it with Scott Mayfield against the Isles the other night, toe to toe, 6'4" Mayfield. They fight, but
and Darlene's always been greasy.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's not afraid to do it.
they're just big.
Thought it was funny that Darlene and Matthews taking the ceremonial face off with Daryl Sittler dropping the puck. I'm like, that's the only guy that Matthews actually hates is Darlene.
No, he may be the only guy he's ever cross-checked.
Yes, that's what I mean. Well, he also fought Stamkos, but yeah, he hates him, I think.
That Beck Malenstein,
Yeah.
whatever it is, he is one of the 5 fastest guys. He shoots at 100 miles an hour. Like, he's a very toolsy guy. Reminds me of Miles
if you're
Wood.
Tampa or Detroit, who sit at the top, would you want to play Buffalo?
No, they're too talented. And I feel that way about Montreal, too. Would not want to play Montreal.
If Colton Ellis is playing net, I wouldn't mind. Like,
Yeah.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen got hurt early in that game last night on the Matthews goal. He stretched out and left the game, and they had to put in Colton Ellis. I wouldn't say he was exactly, at least got 10 shots on him the rest of the game, but he didn't look great. So goaltending could still be a question. Like, they've gotten Alex Lyon's been unbelievable for them, but I think watching them and seeing where they're at in the
Yeah, I'd like
standings,
to see them add, too.
I think it's like
Well, this is fun. Who should
Right?
the Sabres get?
Panarin.
Yeah,
They should get Panarin.
I like that.
He's not going to Buffalo.
He doesn't even have to get a new driver's license. He'd be fine.
Same state. Fine. Buffalo, New York City.
They're close,
Same
aren't they?
thing.
He's picking his spot.
And he's picking Florida.
No.
Tampa?
Florida can't make Panarin work.
Tampa?
Minnesota with Kaprizov and
Yeah.
Possibly.
Now we're talking. Dallas.
how
It's
about
always the same
Patrick
team.
Kane in
Los
Detroit?
Angeles.
Yeah,
Kings?
LA. They
The
still doing
Kings of
stuff?
Los
Buddy,
Angeles.
I forgot about
They
them.
need scoring.
Yeah, but they stink. Aren't they out of the
No,
playoff
they're
picture?
not. They're not.
Yeah.
They're right in the thick of
Ah,
things.
geez, they're
There's-
tied for the final
There's
wildcard spot.
5. There's 5 of them in there, isn't there? Seattle,
Seattle, LA.
Utah.
Utah is the best of that group by 10,000 miles. I cannot believe Utah has a 3-point lead on San Jose. They are a plus 21 goal differential team. Right behind them, by 3 points, the Sharks, minus 15.
They're 8-1-1 in their last 10, the Utah man.
Utah
They're
is
going to be
very
sneaky at the trade deadline too.
for Utah, if you like Utah, the Doan Kessel ring thing doesn't feel good. Like you had a couple of guys there.
Yeah.
That
Dome looks good. That isn't one that, even with all they've
done great.
Their war chest of assets
You
and
got to
picks,
get this stuff right here. Paterka's got 34 points or something. He's a skilled guy. Maybe there's a higher upside. I don't know.
Sammy, what do you got going with Tom Wilson here?
It was just a funny clip. They got starched last night. They kind of stink too. They're out of the playoff picture right now. And Tom Wilson just, let's play the clip. It's funny. Derek, let's play the clip from Tom Wilson.
Yeah, I think this is a kick in the teeth. We got one game left on this trip, and it's the biggest game of the year. So if we're not desperate after this one, then I don't know what to say. I think our group understands what's going on here, and this is a big wake up call coming in here and getting our handed to us. So we got to be better, and we will be better.
That is Thursday in Detroit.
That's a big game. A lot of biggest games of the year happening for teams because the standings are so close. It's like you're starting to see separation, and you don't want to go the wrong way here.
They're in it just as tough as the Lakers
Does
in terms of making
missing
the playoffs.
Worse, actually.
Does the Washington Capitals missing the playoffs make Ovi's decision next year a little easier if he wants to shut it down?
You don't think there's a chance he'd shut it down, do you?
Well, I think there's a chance he's a star forward for the Dynamo Moscow next year.
That's called shutting it down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. But you're saying shutting it down, like, was that what you meant to?
No. I meant
like
out of the league.
Okay.
Yeah, I do believe it.
Yeah.
I do believe that there's a chance.
0 D-zone starts this year. They clearly are like, we cannot use this man on that half of the rink. Maybe he's got 1 or 2 this year. I haven't looked in a while.
Yeah, but it is getting to the point where you kind of start looking forward a bit in terms of not having him around, but it's crazy.
I'm curious to see what they do with their power play. Something different.
Yeah. Watching their power play, it's just this.
He's just standing there still like, yeah. You got me.
They're going to go, like, what do we do? With 4 guys, if he's not there next year, it's like,
Yeah. Just play
what do we do?
Yeah, that's true. Dylan Strom's will be like, oh, I get to pass it? I get to shoot? I get to shoot? Canucks suck really bad. And Tom Willander talked about it. Let's play the clip there, Derek.
It's funny to get a quote from him. I like it.
Yeah, let's play the clip.
I don't know. I don't think we played good anywhere today. I think pretty much every detail was bad. Can't name anything good today.
How frustrating is that with the way things have been going lately to have another game where you're not pleased with the way things ended ultimately?
Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying. I think, at least like the last few times we had like results like this, I think we did a decent job in many parts of our game, but today I thought it was awful.
We now cut to our 20-year-old with 40 NHL games experience.
Do you think
Annoying.
Do you think some reporters are like, I got to ask something, but I have no idea what to, so I'll just go to, how frustrating is that? That seems to be a very popular kind of question.
I think it's a slightly more refined talk about as a question.
Yeah.
I like a guy to answer it like this.
What are you frustrated about?
Very. And then he leaves and go, no, come back. Very, very.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like, what is the guy supposed to say?
It's a transactional thing. He said exactly what he did. He's like, it's very annoying. Like, everybody knows, like, it's very rare that these guys are so professional. I've talked about this on the show before, but they're so professional. How do they not snap every night? Like, it always blows my mind that these guys have all these writers coming in the room. I'm not crapping on the writers, but after you've played at the highest level of one of the hardest sports in the world and you've lost, and a guy comes in and is like,
tell me about that turnover.
boy, how bad did you guys suck tonight? And they're like, well, yeah, we sucked too really bad. Like, it's very remarkable to me how professional these guys are.
But I also, to your point, I think that a lot of guys realize it's almost like the question doesn't matter.
No,
they're just
transactional.
We're like, we need you to say something about the game.
This is true, yes.
Like,
I know, and some guys are better at it than others. And
which is why when guys are like short about it, it's like, you're being a jerk because you know what the reporter's looking for. Just give him something.
There's leading the witness for sure.
When I was a producer of Leafs Nation post game after the games, when I'd go down, I used to go to the games, 25 home games a year. I had to go down in the intermission and do like a 2-question interview with one of the players coming off the ice, and then we played on the broadcast or whatever. And I love doing it with the veteran guys. Like, we have Patrick Marleau come down there. And
I can't believe we sent you to do that.
I know, it's amazing.
You don't have someone to do
But
that.
I was doing it.
You?
It was me. I was wearing a suit. I was doing it. And the funniest part about it is the veteran guys, me and Marleau, I don't even know, hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey and deep hockey, very much hockey. Thanks, man. Let's go. Like,
Hockey.
yeah, like,
Did you guys go for beers after?
No, they were just like transactional. They just knew exactly how to do it. And that's what it's come down to. Like, Willander's been in the league for a week and a
9
half.
seconds.
But anyways, it's just fun.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. If I'm the organization, I'm like, I don't think you get to say that we're terrible at everything. Like, we are, but like, I think, is he the guy?
No.
I don't think he gets to say that.
Teams
yet,
have
does he?
their own now reporters that get to ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, you hire your own guy now.
All teams do.
That's a little too loosey-goosey for me. I'm like, all right, new guy. I get it. We're struggling here, but you're part of the problem right now.
Hey, Mr. Marleau.
When you're not a part of the problem, then you tell us we suck.
I think our coverage stinks. That's what a player should say.
Yeah.
Mr. Marleau, hockey? Hockey.
All
Can't
right.
believe I did that.
Just like that, 2 hours, and we've solved nothing on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Our thanks to Cal Clutterbuck, who joined us on our National Hour. What do we got tomorrow, Sammy?
Luke Fox and Jason Bukla in studio.
Ooh. Is that good?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know. You be the judge. I think it's great.
Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey on Sportsnet, Colorado and Ottawa. We're back tomorrow. If you get a chance, give us a rating and review. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great night, everybody.